Well, a very good morning. My name is Elijah Tuyagmanawe and I welcome you to this segment of the breakfast meeting. Today, we're going to be discussing various issues, but we're going to be putting focus on insurance factors. Well, factors that are affecting the economy globally. Coronavirus continues to take toll of the economy. I don't know, as different parties are working handy to see that they mitigate the impact of coronavirus on global economies. IMF swings into action among other different parties to see that they can handle the situation amicably. Well, in studio today, we're going to be discussing insurance. If you have owned an asset, you know how important insurance is, ranging from assets like houses, or shops, or stores, or cars, name it. You know how important insurance can be in times of unfavored times of uncertainty, and you know that insurance can help you bring back your asset just in case of any disaster or any uncertainties. We're going to be casting an eye on insurance today in studios, particularly agriculture insurance. I have a lady and a gentleman in studio today. You're welcome to the studios. I'll start with the introduction. At the extreme end is Mr. Okong Peter, the inspection officer, Non-Life Insurance Regulatory Authority. You're welcome to the MB Studios.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And the only lady on set is Miss Ayero Cynthia, Inspection Officer, Non-Life Insurance Regulatory Authority.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak about something as interesting as agriculture insurance.
It's a pleasure to have you in studio this morning. To start with, what does the inspection officer do? The viewers out there may not understand what an inspection officer does in Insurance Regulatory Authority.
An inspection officer at the Insurance Regulatory Authority is charged with ensuring that there are good products out there, you know. So we review these products and look at them as well. We ensure that the insurance companies are doing what they're supposed to do, are paying claims, are selling the right product to the customers out there, and are meeting the promises that they are making, and that their contracts are actually fulfilling the purpose they were intended to fulfill.
Thank you for demystifying the inspection officer's duties in the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Well, Mr. Okong Peter, today we discuss particularly agriculture insurance. Please share with the audience, in the simplest terms possible, why the concept of agriculture insurance?
Thank you so much, Ivan. I think the first thing for me...
Elijah is my name.
Sorry, Elijah. Yeah. I think the first thing for me is to introduce to the viewers what insurance is. Insurance simply means it is one way of transferring risks from an individual or a firm to an insurance company. And in order for you to do this, to transfer these risks, you have to pay some amount of money called premium. So when you pay this amount of money called premium to the insurance company, you are transferring the burden of being worried of the uncertainty which might happen to your assets or property into the insurance company. Now bringing it back to the context, in agriculture insurance, we are covering farmers against the uncertainties which may happen to their product.
Insurance has quite a number of dimensions. Why concentrate on agriculture insurance?
Well,
at a time like this?
Well, as you may know, or you may be aware, agriculture is the backbone of our country, and 80% of the population do practice or involve in agriculture. And of late, the country has been suffering, or we've had issues with climate change. And you realize that the weather has become unpredictable, unreliable, and the farmer is unable or not able to predict what is happening ahead. So because of that, farmers are always worried, or they are not sure of having the next yield. So what happened is that to avoid that, they have to do insurance. And a typical example is last year. We had issues. First season, farmers planted, drought came, hit them, and they lost a lot of things. They lost almost everything. Now, farmers now...
Peter, well, what confidence do you have that farmers in Uganda will subscribe to agriculture insurance? The fact that most farmers in Uganda are subsistence farmers. Of course, there've been advocacy to transitions from subsistence to commercial farming. But what builds your confidence that they'll subscribe to agriculture insurance?
Well, the experience can build my confidence because this agriculture insurance has been in existence for now approximately 4 years, ever since it was introduced in the country. The startup was very low, but as the years pass by, the number keeps on increasing. And as the authority, we've also taken a deliberate effort towards sensitizing the public because it is one of our mandates. We've gone ahead to reach these farmers, sensitize them, talk to them about agriculture insurance. And besides that, they are also seeing the challenges, they are facing the problems. So when you provide a solution to the problem, definitely someone would wish to join.
Absolutely. Thank you, Peter. Cynthia, back to you on the issue of insurance, particularly Uganda, and the fact that we're discussing farmers here. They probably do not understand what insurance is and how important it is. What avenues are you taking to ensure that you widen your scope of coverage in agriculture insurance?
So, as my colleague said, in the beginning it was challenging. The first year we ran this pilot study, we only had 6 farmers coming through. As we speak now, we managed to reach 130,000 approximately. So that shows we are trying to expand our distribution channels. Agriculture insurance can be accessed through banks. So when a farmer goes to pick a loan, and it's an agricultural loan, you will subscribe to agriculture insurance as well to protect that loan. So the banks have actually, given the spread of the banks have actually been quite a big distribution channel for us.
You realize that some of the things you're discussing might be interpreted as complex technical issues to the farmers. So how are you breaking it down for them to understand and familiarize with it easily?
Yes, so as I was saying, we have those that have access to loans usually will be covered by agriculture insurance. Then for the subsistence farmer, that farmer right down there in the village, the agriculture consortium. So how this agriculture insurance is structured is there's the regulator. We have the agriculture consortium that runs the day-to-day activities for agriculture insurance. So the consortium has partnered with the Uganda Farmers Federation and has also a number of other running partnerships. And they're right down there going to the farthest points that they can reach with these associations. So we have quite a number of running partnerships with farmer groups as well. And that has helped us reach the subsistence farmers right down at the grassroots levels. It's interesting to see that actually these farmers call the IRA and actually ask, from this particular point, I have heard about agriculture insurance, how does it work? So we have quite a number of outreach services that we are embarking on.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that submission. But also to continue with you, one would want to know how exactly does a farmer benefit from this directly? How is it different from other forms of insurance?
I would like to categorize the farmers first of all. They are the farmers who, for example, have taken credit from banks. So when you take an agricultural loan and you're covered by agriculture insurance, in case you fall into challenges of drought and flooding and things like that, any of the insured perils, and we actually run this agriculture insurance. We have a climate related product. That is our biggest selling product actually. And when you look at the claims that arise from those, a farmer doesn't have to now look for an insurance company and explain, you see it rained so heavily and now my farm flooded, or the sun was so hot and all my crops dried up.
When you talk about all these natural disasters destroying farms and crops, does this fall under your docket as the inspection officer? Do you go on ground to inspect the magnitude of damage caused on, in this particular case, the agriculture insurance?
So this kind of insurance, like I said, is satellite based, especially the one that looks at weather related challenges, the climate challenges. it's based on satellite weather predictions, okay,
and weather forecast,
and weather forecast and things like that. So we are able to say if someone in Karamoja says there was a drought, we'll consult our satellite data and know, yes, it's true, in Karamoja there was a drought. Who are our farmers who are insured within this particular region in which the drought has been identified? And because we have that data already from those who have taken on this insurance, we issue a payout to those farmers. So a farmer will not necessarily see someone come to their farm and measure and tell them, but you said you had planted 5 acres, but we see 3. No, you let us know. I farm maize. This is the amount of acreage I have. This is where I am located. Okay, and once you have that, we can map out that area using satellites.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Back to you, Peter. When is the appropriate time to purchase this insurance, the agriculture insurance?
The timing depends on what you want to insure. There are those who are involved in livestock. There are those who are involved in aquaculture, that is fish. There are also those who are involved in crops. Now, for aquaculture and livestock, you can insure anytime. For crops, due to the nature of this kind of farming, they are seasonal in most cases. So most crops are seasonal. So the
aquaculture is fish.
Aquaculture is fish.
You'll excuse me, my agriculture is not that good.
Yes, aquaculture is fish. So those who want to insure fish, livestock, you can insure anytime. You can buy the policy anytime. While for those involved in crops, there are seasons, because you realize that crops operate in seasons, depending on when you want to plant it. However, now, the agriculture insurance has what we call windows. So we have a planting window. So the best time to plant is before, or the best time to to buy insurance is before planting.
Before planting.
Before planting.
So if I insured after planting, it shouldn't be considered.
Now, if you are insured to insure after planting, it wouldn't be considered. However, if you want to insure after planting or off season, then we exclude what we call drought. We have some exclusions to put in the policy. You see, as a contract, there are certain do's and don'ts. So for me, what I would advise farmers is that the best time to buy insurance is right now, because for the first season, we've not started planting. So if you were planning to plant in this first season, this is the right time for you to buy insurance. However, the latest time is immediately after planting. But the beauty about it, those who are interested in buying insurance, they can contact the insurance companies or IRA or Agriculture Insurance Consortium. We have windows, we have cut-off days, which we share with farmers, guiding them on when to start planting and when to stop.
Peter, what is the procedure of determining the premium paid? Do you look at the cost of or the amount of the agricultural farm? How do you determine the premium?
There are 2 or 3 bases of determining the agriculture premium. One, we consider input cost. Now here we are looking at all the cost you incur in input. Now, upon which we shall apply a rate. So that rate will now give us what we call premium. Now, the second alternative, we consider output. Now, the amount which you expect to get, the projection you expect to get out of the farm. Now, the question I know you're about to ask me, how are you going to determine the projection? Farmers, someone who has been in
some
farming.
Some farmers are overambitious.
Someone who has been in farming, they have this information. And surprisingly, for the time we've dealt with these farmers, you go to them, they don't have written records, but they know exactly what they have been getting from their farm. So the information is there, provided you engage the farmers.
How about I'm planting for the first time?
Now, if you are planting for the first time, we use what we call the area average. We have, every area has specific average, how much we expect to get from, each farmer expect to get from a certain area. So we base on historical data.
And for the sake of livestock?
Now, for the sake of livestock, we ensure it is an annual cover, so you can tell us how much your animal, should I say your cow or bull, will be at the end of the year. So upon which we shall apply the rate. Now, those cows which come along the way, we add them on cover. God for, if at all your animal produces and you want to add the calf on cover, we also now, depending on when it comes on, we calculate for a premium basing on how much do you estimate it to be at the end of the cover.
Very true, exactly. Thank you, Peter. Cynthia, to you now. Have we had any beneficiaries registered ever since the agriculture insurance was established?
Oh, yes, we've had a number of beneficiaries. Now, here's the beautiful thing about agriculture insurance in Uganda. The government of Uganda has come in to support this initiative, and they provide a subsidy. And this subsidy has been running through this pilot phase. And like I said earlier...
what rate of subsidy?
Oh, the subsidy, it's 5 billion shillings for every financial year. So 5 billion shillings is provided by the government, and this is used to subsidize these farmers. And it is a gradual kind of subsidy. So we have the subsistence farmer who has less than 5 acres gets a 50% subsidy from the government on their premium. The farmer who has 30, for farmers who are a bit large scale, for example, we are speaking from 5 acres and above, there is a 30% subsidy from the government. And then for those in distressed areas where honestly they are difficult to farm, but people are farming there, there's an 80% subsidy from the government. So this subsidy has actually brought down the cost of the premium. And we have seen numbers increase, and right now, like I said, we have approximately 130,000 farmers who have experienced this insurance. We've also paid claims, and the claims that we have paid so far come to around 4 billion. We've paid our claims to a tune of roughly 4 billion in all areas, looking at the livestock, looking at drought, looking at other diseases. We also cover poultry. We've also had losses in poultry. So that is how far we have gone in terms of benefiting our farmers.
Okay. So in the case of distributing your compensation, is it individual based per farmer or organization in form of corporations of farmers, like groups of farmers?
That's a very interesting question, and how the compensation gets to the farmer. So, like I said, the beautiful thing about this farming is every farmer who has experienced this insurance, we have your record. So we shall know there is this farmer located here, and this is what they've put up for insurance. So depending on how this insurance is structured, we actually, the claims payments usually go to each individual farmer. Even if you come as a group, in that group there will be the breakdown of the members who purchased insurance. And once that detail is there, even when a claim is being assessed, each farmer will be assessed differently, because every farmer would have put in different conditions for insurance, a different number of animals, a different location where they are. So insurance looks at you as the individual and your asset, you and the risk that you're facing. And even when it comes to paying claims, it goes down to you as an individual to address the loss that you have suffered.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Cynthia, Peter, back to you again. Have you done enough sensitization to ensure that you spread such that farmers get to know about this insurance arrangement, the agriculture insurance, in remote areas, far to reach areas like Moroto, places like on islands? Have you done enough sensitization to inform people, farmers, to know about the fact that our economy is an agricultural-based economy?
Well, I would say yes and no, because sensitization is a continuous process. But so far, we've done quite enough. Through our collaboration with other agencies, we've done a lot of sensitization. We've participated in agriculture trade shows across the country. We also participated in Monitor Farm Clinic. Last year alone, we had 5 outreaches across the country, different parts of the country. We've also You'll agree with me, source of the Nile trade show, it is one of the biggest agriculture trade shows in this country. And true. Every year we make sure we be part of the trade show and sensitize farmers about this. As you said, well, there are challenges here and there. You also agree with me, Uganda is quite big, and we also have different languages being spoken in this country. So you realize that reaching each and everyone, it may not be something which you can do within a month or a year, but we are doing our best, and as we speak now, we even have print materials in different local languages across the country. Okay. Now, these print materials help us now to send the messages down there. We're also having memorandum of understanding with some of the farmer groups or those who engage farmers. As my colleague said, we've also engaged the Uganda National Farmers Federation, and as you know, they have over 87 branches across the country. So we are trying to get ways of using them to reach the last man down the road.
Absolutely.
And you also, what we've also realized over time, farmers are a very interesting group of people. There's that thing of trust. If they don't trust you, they don't believe in you, ideally they will not deal with you. So the mechanism we've been using is to engage the group leaders, the associations, farmers associations in different areas. And
but the Uganda's agricultural sector hasn't been that organized.
Yes, that is very true. They have not been that organized, but if you go down there, you find these farmers, they're in small groups. And their small groups, they believe in the leadership of those groups. Whereby even if you come from wherever you're coming and you want to reach farmers without talking to those leaders, chances are high that they will not listen to you. So the first time we were approaching them, we thought we could just go to the leaders, sub-county leaders, district leaders, and reach farmers. Okay. But with experience, as time went on, we discovered the best thing to do is to engage the group leaders. Absolutely. So we encourage farmers to form groups so that we can disseminate the information to them. Because dealing with group leaders, you find that it's much easier. Should you talk to group leaders, explain to them the product, they make it much easier to their local or their group members to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Our time is fast spent, so I'll give you an opportunity to have your last remarks, starting with you, Cynthia.
Thank you so much. So, for my last remarks, I'd like to say we encourage everyone out there who is interested in doing agriculture not to go the whole 9 yards by themselves, but to also consider insurance to cover their risks, and also to allow themselves go through this venture and know that should they come into any losses, should they come into any challenges, there is insurance.
Absolutely.
And it's always readily available. It's well regulated. These products have been approved by us, and we are sure that whatever it is that we've put out there will actually meet the needs of the majority of our farmers out there.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Ayero Cynthia. Peter, I'll give you a chance to have your last remarks.
Thank you so much. What I can advise anyone who is planning or willing to engage into farming activity, the best way to guarantee your investment is through insurance. So whatever if you are to do agriculture or farming, please don't leave out insurance. It's the best way to go.
Thank you very much. The lady and a gentleman from Insurance Regulatory Authority speaking to us about agriculture insurance this morning. That's Mr. Okong Peter and Miss Ayero Cynthia from Uganda, or from rather Insurance Regulatory Authority, Uganda. Well, whereas it's very important to concentrate on organizing the agricultural sector and ensuring that it's well organized in terms of insurance and the way it's carried out, we do also put into consideration that economics research and principles indicate that majority of economies that have grown steadily towards development have not entirely depended on agriculture, but rather advanced into the industrial sector and later the service sectors. My name is Elijah Tudiagmanawe, and the breakfast meeting will continue shortly afterwards with more guests.